Okay, friends. Is anybody here? We have a special guest this evening. Are you going to talk to all their friends? This is Katie. I don't know if we're live. I hope we're live. Hello. Hello, there's Sarah, Hockey Spaz, Krista, there's Vicky. Okay, this is my friend Katie, and she's the inspiration for tonight's card, kind of. Can you say hello? Can you say hello? She's waiting for a treat, and I had to put this because she was eating my, she was eating my sweater. Hello, yes. Can you show everybody how sassy you are? Yes, we're very sassy. Uh-huh. Are we gonna share birds tonight? Do we have new birds to share with our friends? Thank you. Can you have a kiss? Thank you. That's so sweet. Yes. We have new birds. Katie wants to introduce our new birds that we have to share. And yes, very sassy. Are you ready for a treat? So we can go and talk to our friends? Yes. So when Lisa and I tell you that we're crazy bird ladies, we really are. Yeah. Okay. All right, Emily, are you ready to take her? Yeah. There we go. That's how we have to lure her away with a treat, or she was going to get super sassy, and she's really loud. And so there we go. Bye-bye, Katie. Good night. Yep. Now she's giving kisses and going out the door, but she makes like little squeaky, like kissy noises. She is a conure. She is a sun conure. Katie, she is 18 years old. We adopted her 7 or 8 years ago, maybe. So she was already older, but an older couple had her, and the older lady that had her developed like an inner ear disease and couldn't take like loud noises. And when she makes her parrot noise, is really high pitched and loud. But anyway, there we go. So we have new birds to share with you. We have not a conure, not a that type of bird, but we have some birds to share with you. A pineapple. Oh my goodness. Yes. We have total crazy bird ladies. Yes, guilty as charged. Lisa has a ringneck, I believe, a little ringneck, a little baby blue. He's precious. His name is Oliver, Ollie for short. And we have Katie. Along with Katie, we have a green cheek conure. We have Walter, who is a macaw. That's Emily's bird. He's a one-person bird, loves her, but Katie loves just almost everybody except for my 10-year-old Indian ringneck. Thank you. Except for my 10-year-old Sam. She doesn't like little kids. So there you go. All right. Lovebirds on cards. Just do bird sets and the recent set. Lovebirds on cards. Yes, we are introducing tonight the new Lovely Layers lovebirds, and they are precious. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and let's get into, if I can find my cards that I shared with you, or some of the things that we shared with you on the other releases. So I'm going to go down here to my desk view, and you're going to get a little peek of the die cuts that I have ready. But the other night, played with our bold backgrounds, and this was a little sample that I did to kind of test the dies and put it all together. My good card from the other night is across my craft room for me to take photos with it. And then we had our 3D embossing folder, which is the eyelet lace embossing folder. It's going to come in the little bundle that has the die that cuts out the little scallop on the bottom. And of course, it's going to press in like that Swiss dot pattern in the background. Okay, so we have got bold backgrounds, new embossing folder, and then you guys are going to get a little peek at a card that I'm creating tonight with our lovely layers lovebirds. Okay, so these are actually they're pretty easy to put together. I'm going to do and start with white paper. Obviously, I'm going to ink blend tonight. It's going to go on pretty easily. There's all different ways that you can color and ink blend lovebirds. You know, if you Pinterest or look up lovebirds on the internet, there's different ways you can color them. I'm going to color them in kind of a more traditional way. Looks a lot like Katie, who I had in here earlier, with yellows and greens and kind of a little red head. And so I'm going to get busy doing that. As you can see here, and I'm just going to pick up one of the layers here. They are designed, you could use just one little bird, but they're designed to kind of nestle together like little lovebirds. And so I'm going to get busy with that. I'm going to move some of my layers off here, and I'm going to start with what is the base layer of our lovebirds. So just with all of our lovely layers, whether it's a flower or a bird or anything like that, they're all going to have like embossing detail on them. And so the bottom of the tails, and it's going to be hard to see for just a minute until I put some color on these, but the bottoms of the tails here have all those pressed details here that are, you know, pressed with your dies, all that yummy embossing stuff. And so that I know is what's going to show when we get our birds put together. And so I'm not going to focus a whole lot up in here in the flat part of the body, but more down here on the tail. So I have a blending brush. This has Rustic Wilderness on it. And I'm going to start out just by brushing on some color. And I'm going to make the bottoms of the tail here a little more deep than up the chest and thing that we're going to do later on. But I'm going to pull this kind of right off onto my little waffle flower sticky mat, and then kind of blend that on as I work my way up here and work my way around. Let's see how that's looking. This turned very Rustic Wilderness, and this is a little bit more limey green. So I'm going to actually take, this is my Twisted Citron, and I'm going to bring some more of that kind of limey green color back into this one's tail. Okay, so this is pretty much done. I don't really mind that this one is a little bit darker because we're going to have kind of the male and female look. Okay, if we start kind of adding our layers over the top, this is where you're going to start kind of seeing everything come together. You'll notice right here along the edges where it's got a little bit that's going to peek out. That's where the little wings are going to attach to the sides of our little lovebirds. But I'm going to color these really, really dark green. Okay, so I'm going to move these base layers kind of off to the side. I'm going to lay down what is kind of the uppermost part that has like the little chest, and you can see all the little feathers, and we're starting to see some little face details and stuff like that into our little birds. And I'm going to lay these here. I'm going to start out again with my Rustic. I may want to start with the Twisted Citron. I'm going to start with this and start kind of moving it up like this and get them kind of really pretty and limey green. I may bring some of that Rustic Wilderness right down into here, but I'm just going to twirl and swirl that brush around. And I don't really like to dip into my ink pads unless I absolutely like to or have to. I kind of like to use what's on my brushes first. And then I'm going to simply take that Rustic Wilderness brush, I'm just going to kind of do a little flick up here to kind of turn the bottom of that a little bit more of that rustic wilderness green. So I'm just going to kind of give it a little flick just like that. And now for the head down, this is where I'm going to start pulling in a yellow. And so I'm going to start with what's on my brush first. And you can see the green right here. That's from blending. That's from making birds. And so I'm just going to start with this first, use what's on my brush and pull it right down into the twisted citron, that really limey, pretty green. And you can see there's a bunch of yellow still on my brush. Do the same thing with this little guy. And we're going to pull that down. Let me get around his little beak area. And I'm going to blend that right down again into that twisted citron green. Now, this looks on the screen, it looks very green. In real life, it's not that green. Let me show you. Like if I look at it and hold it up, and that still looks very green, but you're going to have to trust me for a minute that this is yellow and then it comes down into the rustic wilderness. Okay, let's see here. The wings don't move. I'm sure you could make them move if you want to. Oh yeah, you could probably put something on there and make them move. Okay, so here is what we are looking like so far. And again, this looks very green. It's really not. And it's going to fade down into that other color. Okay, we've got their little faces, their little heads. Let's see here. Oh no, I won't worry about cleaning it off too much. Okay, I'm going to lay those down. Now I know that this face, it's going to be hard for you to see, but the beak is right here. The little eyes are here. So I know that that is this bird that is on the left right here. And then this little bird's head is kind of tucked down in. Its little beak is here and eye is here. So I know that that belongs to the bird on the right. And I am going to start out with a red, I think. And I definitely don't want to dip much into my ink here. And I'm just going to kind of get the kind of top part of their head. And then I'm going to blend yellow up from the bottom. And then the yellow is going to blend in with the yellow that we have kind of running down their, or up their chest and into their head that way. So I'm just going to kind of start working it this way. And blending it on and blending it down. And this is how, using my dirty brushes, for those of you that have been around a while know that I love my dirty brushes, but this is how you get that really soft kind of hazy blend and get it to kind of soften out. Not really dipping a whole lot into your ink, because when you dip into your ink, that's where your color is going to be a little bit more harsh. Now, if you want it, and I'll do that here in a minute, like for the beaks and for the little feet, I'll probably dip in and blend it that way, because you don't have to be as careful, you know, when you really want that really good saturated color. Okay, I'm going back to my yellow brush, and I'm actually going to flip the little heads upside down, because it just is easier for me to pull it this way. And I'm going to press really hard and get that yellow going. And we're going to have a look at it and see if I need to dip into the ink. But I want it to blend right up into that lumberjack plaid ink. That's looking pretty good. Let's go even like that. Okay, now I'm going to put this right here over this little guy, and I'm going to take a look, and you'll kind of start to see how our colors are kind of blending in and blended together. I like that. Okay, so I'm going to take this one, do the same thing, and I'm really giving the bristles on this brush a good workout, because I want to get that yellow that is on the bristles. I want to get that off onto that paper. I'm going to bounce a lot of this yellow off and just kind of barely pull it on. I like that. Okay, hold on. Let's do the same thing to his little mate here. Okay. Now let me see how we're looking. Never can find my tweezers on my desk when I'm looking for them. Let me just grab these old ones. Okay, let's see how that's looking. All right, that's looking pretty good. And still, it looks yellow, but it's not yellow. I mean, it looks green, but it's not green in real life. Okay, we're looking pretty good there. All right, I'm going to do a little white down here. Or let me go a little whiter so I can work right down here. Okay, the feet and the beaks are going to be the yellow. So I'm going to take what's on my mat right here, and I'm just going to do an all over good dose of the yellow. And this is mustard seed. Take it from my desk and then just go all over with that. But I think these little birds, let's say Lisa wanted to make an Indian ringneck with her. I really need to find my better scissors. I don't know where my awesome little honeybee tweezers. Here we go. If Lisa wanted to make a ringneck, you know, she could color her little birds in blues and then do the little dark ring around his neck or something like that. These, you know, if you wanted to make these look more like little parakeets or something like that, you could totally color them like that. Where I'm just doing lovebirds here tonight. Okay, so I've got all that. Now we need to do their wings. So I know that this wing, this little sliver, and then this little sliver here, if I can get it, those go to the bigger bird. So I'm going to flip this over just like that. Or maybe this one goes to the bigger bird. I'm going to have to look here in a second. Now these I want really dark green. So I'm really going to dip into the rustic wilderness this time. And I will do a little tap off so we just don't have it super harsh. But I'm really going to give this a really good dose of rustic wilderness. Okay, now in this die set, there are like the little white area that, and I wish I had Katie back up here, but most all of our little parrots have white eyelids. So when they close their eyes, their whole eye area is going to be white. They've got really bright white eyelids. When they open their eyes, most of them have their little pupils are going to be dark, really black. So these birds come with the little area that you can do like the white around their eyes. So if you want to have their eyes look like they're closed, you can do the little white dots or little white, these little areas here. Now, if you want to have their eyes look like they're open, there is a teeny tiny little die that almost looks like the dot or the tittle on the letter I. You can add on in there. You can add your black gel pen, whatever you wanted. I'm going to just add the little white spots onto their eyes. I'm going to have them make them look like they're kind of snuggled up together and their eyes are closed. So there's options there on what parts and pieces you want to add if you want to do that. Let's see here. Let's see. Are there instructions on the package for those of us not good with bird anatomy? Yes, there's a layering guide, Stella, that will come with it. Now, I have to tell you, here's a special thing about getting your dyes from Honeybee. If you buy them or get them from us, we put the layering guides in with your purchase in your package. If you purchase your dyes somewhere else, like from one of our retailers, you will have to pull your layering guides off of our website and print it out yourself. So it's a little bonus of getting your stuff from us is you're provided with a nice printed layering guide. And if you get them, somewhere else, our retailers are not provided with that. You'll have to get it. You'll have to just print it out on your own or save it on your computer or your laptop or something like that. So it's just a little bonus, a little gift that we, put in the packages if you get it from us. Okay. So tweezers again. Does anybody else lose their tweezers on their desk? Okay, here they are. All right. So I'm going to take this little wing and I'm going to add it right up in here, and you'll be able to see where they go. There's the layering guide, but you can see and kind of match everything up because of the bumps and lumps down the side of your little bird. And so his little wings are going to match up to the side of the body because we're just going to follow right down the little birdie. Now, this little area of the wing, I could have added it underneath the chest layer. You don't have to. You can kind of stick it on over here. It depends if you want this wing to look like it's tucked up under there or you want it on top. I'm going to do it easy peasy, and I'm just going to glue it down right on the top like so. And let's see here. I'm actually looking at the birds that I have already tested out here. Okay, so this guy is going to fit right in there. And I'll show you the little birds that I already have made. I actually think that the first ones that I made are better, but maybe not. Okay, now, and I could have used different colors of ink or whatever. I just kind of guessed this evening when I was pulling my inks out. Okay, so I'm going to add, I think that this may be the female bird. I don't know, but she's so sweet. Her little head is kind of all tucked in there. So I'm just going to add that down, let that glue connect, and now I can add her little head. Let's see here. I lose the pin for my glue always. Let's see here. And I don't know, can you all hear that loud noise? The really loud noise downstairs? I always wonder how much you guys can hear. That would be Walter. Walter is a Catalina macaw. So he's mad right now. He's probably mad at Emily, who came in here to get Katie earlier. But he's telling her about something. He is like a, he's like having a toddler for about 80 years. And he's a mess. He's beautiful, but he's a mess. Okay, so I'm going to add this little guy's beak, and I'm going to kind of turn my hand around here so I can get that down there. And then put that into its little spot. Just like so. I hope my head's not getting in the way. Okay, now I'm going to do this one's little wings. Just like that. Can kind of dot my adhesive. Let's see here. I love the fact that you can find coconut wires. Oh, okay. How many pets do you have? Oh, Natalie said, how many pets do I have? Oh my goodness. I have 4 birds and 3 dogs, so 7. No, and then a lizard. Emily has a lizard too. So my daughter, while I'm putting this little birdie together, we can have story time, I guess. My daughter started out wanting to be a veterinarian, and we all love animals. We've always had a lot of animals. I grew up with horses and dogs and all the things. My grandmother always had birds. So I've always been a bird lover, but my daughter's a big animal lover. She is getting her degree in biology. I don't think that she wants to be a veterinarian anymore because she's worked in a lot of vet clinics, and she's decided, thank goodness, before we spent a bunch of money on veterinary school, but she's decided that she wants to go more into the the environmental side of animal science. I'm just matching up my eyes here. And so she's going to go more that route, I think, into the environmental side of biology stuff. She's actually getting ready to go on a trip here. I'm just making sure I get his little eye right. Go on a trip to the coast. We live in South Carolina, but she's going to go to the coast, and they test the waters and test for different types of algae and what the animals are eating, and different types of shrimp and krill and all that kind of stuff. I don't really understand all the things that she does, but there we go. Okay, so here is our little pair birds. You can see here where it looks like their little eyelids are all closed because the little birds have white eyelids. Now here is my first little bird. You can see how different he is. And then here is his little buddy, and you can see the difference. If you wanted to add that is the black. The black there is the little die cut. I couldn't remember if I added gel pen or if it's the little die cut, and that's the little die cut. So you could do it either way, whichever way you wanted to make it. This color here is a little bit softer than these two, but I like both pairs. They're super cute. Okay, so let's add those there. And I think these two, I don't want to add their little feet yet because they have to have somewhere to stand, and we're going to do that here in a minute. Okay, so I'm going to put these over here. I'm going to quit yakking, and I don't want to lose their little feet. Okay, so different options for where your little birds can go. They can always go on one of our previously released, this is the Lovely Layers. This is either the Dogwood or the Cherry Blossom. So they can always, nestle. And lovebirds are very tiny. I don't know if you've ever seen real lovebirds before, but they're littler than Katie that I had in here. They're teeny tiny. So you could put them on a little, blossomed little branch. That would be adorable. Or, Honeybee Stamps, we're going to have something for you. Or you can put them on their very own little area. And I can tell you that this is part of a new die set. This is just a little bitty smidgen of another Lovely Layers die set. So, their little feet, and I'm not going to add them quite yet because I want to nestle them in their little ring perch. So let me grab it here. But they're going to kind of love up against one another, something like this. Okay. All right. So let me move these little guys, our little flock that we've got going on. All right. Now I cut down some light pink paper, and I used our new embossing folder that we talked about earlier, the eyelet lace. So this new embossing folder, we've got two in the upcoming release. They're both designed to be able to make 5x7 cards or A2. You know, if you cut your paper down to A2 size and slip it in there, you can do an A2 size card or a full 5x7. This is a 5x7 size card. Now you can see I did some strategic embossing here today. I just wanted the dots. I didn't want the scalloped border, and I just wanted the little Swiss dots for my background for my birds. So I cut down a sheet of paper and I just did the dots. So we have that. But I think before we even get that, I'm going to build my little birdies on the background first before I add it on there. Now, do you guys think that I need to add the little like bright red-headed birds like this, or the little birdies that have the little closed eyes? So which ones do you think? I almost like the red here, and she's got her little eye open. But you can see how you're going to get different little birdies every time. Let's see, the bright birds. Yes. Happy with 5x7. So many of us are all yes, Nanette. We thought of that. We thought you guys would like the new size of embossing, the darker faces. I think this one too. I think these as well. And these turned out like almost like little peachy headed lovebirds. Okay, I'm going to lay these two little guys, this pair aside, and I'm going to put them in my package of my dies because you know that those are going to get used later on. Okay, so here I'm going to have to do some strategic placement because I've already glued down their little feet. And you can see on this pair where their little feet go, and they're designed, you know, to look like they're sitting on a perch or a branch or whatever. You can see how they're kind of hooked over. And so I'm going to see if I can't maneuver their little feet. Let's get a die pick. Let's see. I love the precious for the birds. They are so cute. Okay. Tiki room birds. Stella, that's exactly what I may be able to pick these off. Oh, look at that. That's exactly what Emily said when I showed her this little perch today. She was like, oh my goodness, Mom, you're making Tiki bird, the Tiki room. And for those of you that aren't crazy bird people, you may not think, but the Tiki room is at Disney, either Disneyland or Disney World. And it was one of Walt Disney's little creations, but there's a whole, it's not really a ride. It's not a ride. It's more like a little show, but there's animatronic little birds that, you know, sing songs and do all the things. I'm not going to be able to get that one up, but it's something that we have to do every time we visit Disney because, you know, we're crazy bird people. I'm just going to flick his little toes up and I'm going to hook the little perch underneath him like this. It's where the birds all sing and the flowers bloom, the tiki room. I think is how it goes. If I asked Emily, she would know. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of little bird surgery on his little feet here. Like that. There we go. And I'm going to hook them over very strategically. There we go. Here we go. I'm going to hold him just for a second so his little piggy stays on there. His little foot. I called it little piggy. That's what we call it at our house. Okay. All right, now let's see if I can very carefully pick this up. Let's add it down. And I'm going to nestle them in very carefully. Okay, now let's add her little feet. And I'm going to look up here to see what you guys are chatting about. Oh, Kelley, Honeybee has artists to be successful in constructing beautiful cards. Thank you, or wonderful. Oh, thank you. Well, tonight we're doing a little birdie surgery. And let's see. I'm going to see if I can't. He needs to scooch over. He's going to make room for Mrs. Lovebird here. We're doing birdie surgery because I already had these little guys made. And we kind of liked the brighter birds with the pink paper. And so we're doing a little foot surgery here on our unplanned foot surgery. And we may just like one of those, like, oh my goodness, like, what was the show that had the design, the clothing design thing where the guy said, just make it work? We may just be making it work. We're going to do the crafty version of make it work. Okay, so I'm going to put these down just like so. Everybody play nice. Everybody nestle in to their little spot. And I can tell you guys, it's not going to be this hard to put together when you do your birds. I'm just trying to keep their little feet on there that I picked off. Okay, now I'm going to let everything stick down. So I'm just going to hold it. We're going to chat for a second. Let's all just chat while I glue my little birds. A new set of birds to use on my cards. Yes. A lot of birds on the crystal. Oh my goodness, what a beautiful birds. Oh, isn't that cute? Yes, and I just cut the little swing out of gold, like mirror gold cardstock to have it look a little fancy. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Okay, we're doing good. Everybody's sticking down where they're supposed to go. All their little bits and pieces. Okay, not her little feet are slipping. You know what? We're going to call it good. We're just going to call it good. Let me see if I can move her down. Let's do this. I think because of the dots on the embossing folder, I can't get her to stick like I want her to. So we're going to make her stick. So I'm going to rest her little feet. Nestle her in. Now, she's not going anywhere with foam. Okay, now, this is the idea. Then we can take my little scissors, and I'm just going to trim this right there. And then I can add the whole thing. And I'm just going to strategically to the flat parts to try to get, you know, my little background. There we go. And we can kind of shimmy this around. Look how sweet those are. Aren't they sweet? Look at that. Oh, I'm in love with these little birds. So let me tell you a funny story while we're doing this. I was doing the voiceover today for the day one. This is, you know, how we do our little sneak peeks. Well, you're going to be able to tell that I'm so excited in this video for all the new stuff, because I swear I use the same adjectives for everything. I giggle at myself because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so dang cute. Oh my goodness, I love this. I love that. Everything is, I was laughing at myself because it got to be ridiculous. Okay, These little blossoms are not new. These are from one of those little branch sets. So it's either the, and I can't remember which, it was this one. It's the dogwood little blossoms. I just did in white and green leaves. And I'm just going to kind of strategically, just a little zhuzh here. Just something like that. And just like that. So you can dig through your dies and, you know, find you some kind of cute little something. Let's see here. I'm going to put that right there. And I'm going to kind of hold them and let it grab a hold of that pink paper. That embossing folder is awesome. It is fun. Dang, I was distracted and I missed the whole thing. Running back to the... well, though, I can tell you, Zan, that the beginning is wild. We had a special guest, my little pet bird, Katie. And we call her Katie Bird. And she is sassy and she's rotten. And we had to bring treats because I let her sit on my shoulder. And you're really not supposed to do that. Bird owners bird, you know, whatevers will tell you. We don't follow the rules. But I let her sit on my shoulder and then she doesn't want to get off of my shoulder. And she was being very sassy. So we lured her off with a little snack. And Emily took her. Okay, so I'm going to add these little blossoms. Just like that. Look how cute that is. Oh my goodness. All right, now here's the sentiment. There is a brand new sentiment set that is specifically for the birds, for lack of a better word. And it is called, oh my gosh, I'm so horrible with names. It'll be a surprise. But it's all kind of like, it's not super punny. It's not like a punny set. It's Together is a Beautiful Place to Be. It's like By Your Side. That's what it's called. By Your Side. And so it's more like for friendship, for anniversary cards, for wedding cards, you know, for things like that. There's a little bit of things that mention birds, like birds of a feather, things like that, but it's not like silly punny. So I'll leave that there. But and it's a really pretty, the fonts are really beautiful, but this says Together is a Beautiful Place to Be. And I am going to use my little narrow foam really strategically back in here. And then maybe another one right there. Now let's see if we can see it on the other side. Nope, we're looking good. So I'm going to pull that back and pull that back. And then I'm going to use my little tweezers and I'm going to nestle that like right down in here. And I'm going to pick this up and I'm going to make sure everything looks nice and straight. Okay, so we're looking good. You know what we need for the finishing touch. And then I'm going to call it a night and let you guys go to bed or whatever. So these are our vintage pearls. This is, and I mentioned this in our last live. This is a little bit of the color scheme that's going to match the new paper pad. And I'm going to pick up, if I can find it. All my tools have gone haywire tonight. I'm going to use this matte gold because it's going to tie in with the little perch swing. It's going to go with the embossed gold sentiment. And I'm just going to add some little centers to our little flowers. Just like so. Okay, so here, this is the finished card. Okay, so Lovely Layers Lovebirds. And this is another Lovely Layers set that you will see all together very soon. And then these are the little birds that I made and ink blended this evening that turned out a little more peachy, a little lighter in color. And then these are really bright. I love the bright red head on the pink paper. But how sweet would that be for a wedding card? I think even. So pretty. Okay, so what are you guys, I want to know, what do you guys think of the lovebirds? Are you as crazy about them as Lisa and I are? Melissa probably thinks that we're nutty because we like all the birds. And so this little guy, her little foot, I'll put different feet over her later. Those feet are going to bother me, but I'm going to fix them. I'm going to use these feet, I think, and glue on top of there. Adorable. Oh, Dawn is here. Do you love the lovebirds, Dawn? Are they not just so stinking cute? I can't wait to see what Dawn does with the birds, because Dawn works magic with her blending brushes and all the things. So I can't wait. They look easy. They're very easy to assemble. So don't get worried. And here's a little trick that I'll tell you that I'm loving about a lot of our Lovely Layer stuff. The face, I can't show you on here, but the little face underneath here, this layer that has like this pinky color and the yellow, the beak and the eye are actually embossed into the face. So if you didn't want to deal with the teeny tiny eye or the beak, because I know that I talk to our customers every day. A lot of people have like issues with their hands or whatever. It's all embossed in there. If you wanted to take a colored pencil or a gel pen or something like that and add those little details in with a pencil or a pen, you could totally do that. The little feet, that might be a little harder, but all you would have to do was like put your little birdies, behind the little perch or whatever, and you're really not going to notice the feet just a whole lot. Let's see here. Whoop, whoop. They are awesome. I need to start a list. Great Mother's Day card. Yes. Let's see. I have the Amaryllis Lovely Layers at the top of my wish list. That is a good one. I need to add the lovebirds. Our birds always are really big sellers. Our winter birds with the cardinal, those were our first birds. Those did so well. Everybody loved them, which, we love cardinals. And then we had our spring birds with the robin and all that. Somebody said something about a pet with my dog. My parents used to breed lovebirds. Oh my gosh. Let's see here. I like the birds. I wouldn't have a bird as a pet with my dog. Miss Gail, I have 3 dogs, and strangely enough, the biggest dog in my house is the mother to the birds. She thinks that she's the mother to the birds. We have an Australian Shepherd that's a herding dog, not hurting, but herding, and she protects all the little animals. So we worried about having birds with dogs, but we just trained them that, they're not. Oh, the owl. I forgot about the owl. Yes, I would never have thought of Mother's Day card, but that is, you could have a little, even if you had like one little bird, like this little sweet little, I'm going to call her the female bird, with some little flowers and things, that would be a beautiful Mother's Day card, I think. Oh, I've seen so many beautiful Christmas cards this last Christmas with the cardinal. The doves, hockey spaz, I forgot. A layering dachshund. We need a layering weenie dog. Wouldn't that be a hoot? That would be hilarious. My cardinal picture from my bird feeder is the most popular thing I put on Facebook lately. Oh, yes. People love birds. Let's see. I'm waiting for a Lovely Layers kitty. We need to work on Melissa with some cats and dogs. You guys will like the Lovely Layers that we have coming out. Not here, but the spring release. We've already seen that too, but it's pretty awesome. All right. Okay, Lisa, I have chatted their ear off long enough. We've got, this live has just gone to the birds. Is that what the saying says? So I think it's time to have our winner. Robin! Robin is the winner. Congratulations, Robin. So if you will email me at Kelley, Kelley at honeybeestamps.com, I am going to send you a prize. Guys, thank you so much for putting up with me tonight and all the crazy stories and the birds and all the things. So thank you guys a lot, and I will see you next week with more sneak peeks. Bye, friends. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Bye-bye.